I woke up in a ditch under a bridge in Las Vegas, Nevada, wrapped in a dusty sleeping bag, my stomach hollowed out from 2 days of crackers and gas station coffees. The night before, I'd pitched my tent on the roof of an old building, hoping the wind wouldn't blow it down again. I hadn't paid for a bed in weeks. I hadn't paid for much of anything, and I've spent my life savings $555 in the last 3 months. The plan was to live free, prove that money wasn't necessary, that kindness and grit could carry me across the continent to the land of milk and honey. But somewhere between the hunger and the hitchhiking, I started to see the cracks in my philosophy. I wasn't living without money. I was living off other people's earnings. Every ride cost someone gas. Every meal came from someone's paycheck. I had nothing to offer in return but my presence and a story. I had mistaken my spiritual idealism for liberation. In truth, I was outsourcing my survival to people who didn't sign up for my experiment. And that's when the deeper question hit. What does it mean to live freely in a world where everything worth living for my shelter, food, healing, lifeline connections comes with a price tag? We talk about enlightenment like it's beyond economics, but the truth is, we're all negotiating our survival on a daily basis, minute by minute. And in this broken economy, where millions are drowning in debt and spiritual teachers are expected to work for free, maybe it's time we stop pretending that money and meaning are mutually exclusive. The spiritual cost of scarcity is, we hoard not just money but time, attention, and care. In a collapsing economy, scarcity isn't just financial, it's emotional, relational, spiritual. We ration our generosity like it's a luxury good only for the privileged few who understand us. And yet we're starving for connection, for the meaning of our lives. While reality holds on to the idea that money being dirty or evil is a prison we will never truly accept. For something that reminds us we're more than just consumers trying to stay afloat. But here's the paradox. The very things that nourish us, healing, wisdom, community, are often the first things we undervalue. We'll pay full price for a broken phone, but we hesitate to invest in the kind of inner repair that could change our lives for the greater good. The marketplace of meaning continuously changes our lives. I've watched brilliant spiritual teachers struggle to pay rent like most people do these days. I've seen community healers burn out because they're expected to give endlessly without receiving. I've heard people say, "I'd love to come to your workshop, but I can't afford it," then turn around and spend twice that amount on a concert. This isn't about judgment. It's about coherence. If we say we value growth, then our wallets should reflect that. If we believe in healing, then we need to fund it, not just for ourselves, but for the people who make it possible. The myth of purity. There's a seductive myth in spiritual circles, that money corrupts, that purity lies in poverty, that charging for sacred work is somehow selling out. But purity without sustainability is just another form of self-erasure. If we believe in true healing, then we need to fund it, not just for ourselves, but for the people who make it possible. For the charlatan, nothing but his or her just do. We don't escape capitalism by pretending it doesn't exist. We challenge it by creating new economies, ones rooted in care, dignity, and reciprocity. That means paying people fairly. That means charging what sustains us. That means refusing to apologize for needing to eat while offering something that feeds the soul. Liberation isn't cheap. We romanticize the idea of giving everything for truth. But when it comes to money, we flinch. We spiritualize our stinginess. We call it discernment. We call it minimalism, but sometimes it's just fear. Liberation isn't cheap, not because it's transactional, but because it demands everything and more. It asks us to confront our attachments, our illusions, our inherited beliefs about worth. And yes, sometimes it asks us to pay for the privilege of being undone. Toward a new kind of wealth. Real wealth isn't about accumulation, it's about circulation. It's about creating systems where energy, whether in the form of money, love, or labor, moves freely and fairly. That means valuing the invisible work, the emotional labor, the spiritual guidance, the quiet acts of care that hold communities together. That means building economies that honor the sacred, not exploit it. Living free, not living off the world, people, or governments. I used to think freedom meant escaping the system. Now I know it means transforming it. It means living in integrity, with our values, our needs, and our responsibilities to each other. It means paying for what matters. It means charging for what sustains us. It means refusing to separate money from meaning. Because in this world, they're already intertwined. There's a call to revalue what sustains us through the reckoning. The economy is cracking. The myths of endless growth and individual self-reliance are collapsing under the weight of real human need. We're being asked, spiritually, morally, economically, to decide what we truly value. If we want a world where healing is accessible, where wisdom is honored, where care is not just a sentiment but a structure, then we have to build it. That means paying for what matters. That means refusing to exploit the labor of those who hold space for our transformation, which is seeing money not as a contaminant, but as a tool for coherence. We don't need more purity, we need more courage. The courage to live our values in the marketplace. The courage to say, I will not bargain with the sacred. I will not ask others to starve so I can feel spiritually righteous. I will not pretend that enlightenment is free in a world that charges rent for everything worth living for. Because real freedom isn't found in escaping the system. It's found in transforming it, from the inside out, with grit, grace, and a wallet that finally matches our convictions. If we want a world where truth is accessible and care is sustainable, we must stop spiritualizing scarcity and start funding the future we claim to believe in. The soul may be infinite, but the people who nourish it still need to eat, regardless of their wealth or their lack of welfare. We all win when the free man has no master.